What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. I haven't uploaded in a few days because, unfortunately, I have a tendency this time of year to kind of fall back because a lot of people really don't interact with stuff, and people travel. A lot of people are traveling. They're going to go see family. They're going on their vacation. So it is what it is. But I will do the best I can to keep the content coming in the next few days because, hey, you'll eventually catch up to it eventually. So it is what it is. I know in my last video I was talking about how your processes don't work and the intrinsic points on why they don't work and hitting key points on why they don't work. But this video is to give you a little bit of hope, give you a little glimmer of hope, give you some sort of proper understanding on balancing your scale, so to speak. Because I know a lot of people do what I call guru horn. Like, they go on all these different channels trying to gain all this information and can't grasp the basic concept of this stuff. It's fine because everyone has to learn eventually. And if this is your job and your journey in regards to where you want to go, then you're going to want to learn from it. It's your choice. Just like if you don't wish to go to this grocery store, you can go to that grocery store. You don't wish to go to that barber, you can go to another barber. Ladies, you don't like to go to that hairdresser, you go to that hairdresser. It's all around. However, it does not mean you're going to get the best service from all these places. Just keep that in mind. Names aside. So, if you're watching this around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity. And also, as I always say, this does not constitute legal advice. The sole information is for informational and educational purposes only. It's for you to do your due diligence and do your research on everything I say, to test everything I say, to research what I say. If I do say it on my channel, a lot of stuff I don't say because I know that a lot of people won't research and they'll just take it on face value. Which, of course, will kind of make me accountable to a degree. But if you didn't research, then really, it's really your fault. But anyway, now that we got that out, the formalities out the way, I want to elaborate on an earlier conversation I had earlier in my channel because a lot of people, they don't view my channel from the beginning. They kind of work their way backwards or they kind of watch it from the middle, from the top down, from the bottom up. It is what it is. But I like to elaborate on it when I start these videos because from this point forward, a lot of people are catching my content from this year. But most people do not know why they're doing this stuff in the first place. And that's a very, very sad thing. Now let's go back to late 2016. Or excuse me, 2017. August. When I started my channel, the reason why I started my channel was because I heard a whole lot of ludicrous bullshit that was put out there by many entities, names aside. And I knew it wasn't right because my spirit told me, like, this what they're saying is not right. Like, who in the world, if put it like this, if it was so good to be true that you can file a couple of documentations and get a house for free, why is there such a mortgage crisis in this company? See, shit like that should be not common sense, but logic should be applied to that. Because when you start asking those people those questions, they'll never give you a direct answer. They'll sell it as a premise to you, like, hey, just to pique your conscience and just make you interested. Like, okay, well, this is a possibility. Just believe me. Well, I just can't believe you because that's crazy. You have people who, if that was the case, you have people who are out here who are basically in certain situations with the mortgage, with the mortgage entities and lenders, and they still going to court. So, what are you really saying? Then I heard some ludicrous stuff years ago. People was talking about filling out 1099s, and that's one reason why I'll never do a video on my channel about that shit. You ain't finna get me involved with that. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, because many people have failed in that avenue. Some people will tell you that they didn't come from my mouth. They're going to tell you from their mouth. If they say they could succeeded, That's on you to take them on their word. It's not coming out of my mouth. But I'm very familiar with tax forms and tax law. And I don't even have one of those forms in my possession. Now, what I will say is this. In regards to a lot of other things, hold on one second. Somehow, whenever I get to it, people want to bother me. Anyway, yeah. So take that into consideration. A lot of them topics were very frivolous. And that only brought ill repute on why this stuff needs to be done. Let me break down a very significant truth in less than 7 minutes. The only reason why you're doing these processes or even beginning them is to make sure that you take control of the shit you possess. The things you do have, and people may think it's major. I got this big house. I got this. It's small compared to the universe. Okay? But what's major is your ability to keep and control it and to keep the outsider from taking it. That's why you're doing these processes. You're doing them because you're keeping your commercial ass out of trouble. That's why you're doing it. It's just that simple. Conspiracy theories and New World Order and all that shit, none of that shit applies here. It's all about controlling and keeping your consent to a minimum to make sure that you control all the commercial interactions that you have with society. It's just that simple. However, it becomes so hard for people to understand because they never really had control before. See, entities, corporations, courts have control over you. But you didn't know, you only responded to how they dealt with you, but you didn't have control of the situation. That's all this shit is for. Period. So all them fanciful ass topics that people talk about, fuck that shit. They're not telling you the truth. It's about you putting yourself in the driver's seat and getting the fuck out the trunk while somebody else is driving the vehicle. It's called saving yourself. Because if you made it in the trunk, you watch the mafia movies, the motherfuckers don't make it out. That's the reason why you're doing this. So for anyone who's asking any questions, with all the millions of questions you may have in your mind, that's why you're doing this stuff. And it can't be effective unless it's done right. If it's done wrong, it comes out wrong. Then you got a lot of people who are paltry. Oh man, this is too hard. This don't work. Yeah, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You can't sit down with a chess master and you don't know how to play chess. Don't even do it. You're going to get embarrassed. And there's nothing more narcissistic to a controlling mechanism behind any society than a motherfucker who knows more than the average Joe. See, it's glory when these lawyers and these corporations and these loan companies and these banking entities and these IRS, yeah, they have to keep you snowed in. And that's the reason why your processes don't work. A lot of people just think it's a straight and narrow path in this shit. You have to be well-rounded when it comes down to applying this stuff. But in order for you to be well-rounded, you have to do just what that chess master did to get to where he or she's gotten and lose a couple times. Oh, trust me, they lost. How do you think they got so good at it? But they became so arrogant in being titled the word master that they're more happy to play people that are on their level, but they're even more happier to play somebody who don't know what the fuck they know, because they know they're going to dust your ass. And that's the corporations you deal with every fucking day in your life. You don't believe me? Check your paperwork. Check your mailbox. Check it. Check your debts. Check your court cases. You think I'm lying? Swamped you down because they know for a fact that you don't know this shit. Then when you go in there trying to apply something to give remedy to the situation, it don't work. Because you got snowed in listening to one of these motherfuckers on YouTube or Instagram, on Twitter, wherever. Who gives a fuck? They everywhere. Instead of sitting your ass down with the right material, putting it together, and applying it yourself. See, there's more power and mastery in doing shit yourself. See, reliance on other people is always going to bring you disappointment. Certain cases. Depends on who you rely on in life. Certain cases, not all. But majority of cases, yeah. Because I don't give a fuck. I could give a whole lecture right now on court mannerism and how a person is supposed to present themselves to court. I can do that. You know why? Because people who have to go to court, I don't have to be there with you. So I can say what the fuck I want to say. But when you go, I'm not going to be there with you. Think about that for a second. That's why you have to understand that social media has the power of influence. It doesn't give you the power of critical thought. It gives you the semblance of critical thought. Most people make their deductions in regards to people's videos they watch online, and their videos don't even have to be 30 seconds nowadays. Motherfucker tell you eat this, you eat it. Motherfucker say do this, you do it. On your own volition. So if you could do all of that, what the fuck is this? Some people, not all to my audience, because I know a lot of people out there grinding, they moving in silence and doing their things, names aside, don't have to take. But there's a lot of people who really just don't get it. And it's not saying you don't get it or somebody's trying to downplay your intelligence. You probably will get it if you actually listen to the right shit. You know? See, I'm the voice like, hey, I wouldn't suggest you do that. And I'll give you a valid reason why. But there's a lot of people out there that's like, fuck it. Just give me some money and jump off a fucking cliff. Who cares what happens to you in court? Bye. It's like that in this world. It's like that. And then these same individuals that you have to go in front of, those people don't have to deal with that situation that you have to deal with in your personal life. So, going back to my original point, it's about taking control of your life, not letting somebody else try to do something for you. Because you have to deal with the beginning, middle, and the end result. And sometimes the latter. Because, yeah, the end ain't sometimes the end sometimes. Y'all dealing with shit that even professional people don't know. And I say that and have experienced it. Some of y'all have experienced it. So you know what I'm saying is very true. They don't even know stuff. Or if they do know it, they pretend to have selective memory. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, here's my paperwork. Here's my documentation. Here's my sources of authority. Here's everything that's necessary. Would you like to study and research it yourself? You went to school for law, right? Yes, I did. I went to school for 8 years. Good. This will take you nothing but 30 minutes to read. If you can endure 8 years in law school, you can read this paperwork for 30 minutes. Try to invalidate your argument. The object behind the game is to keep you from controlling your life. That's all it is. Keep you helplessly dependent upon it. And that's the truth. I know people may disagree with me, especially agents. No. Unfortunately, I haven't been keeping coffee in my meetings. Coffee is a bad stimulant. Plus, it gives you erectile dysfunction if you drink too much of it. So, half of y'all ain't got that problem. Y'all got that problem anyway. So, I don't have to worry about that problem. So, no coffee here. Just promote water and good spirits for the agents that's in the back. But I speak that truth. If you study what you're doing, and please, if you don't understand something, do not rush. You know how people, and I know this is a very sad topic to talk on, and I'm not insensitive about the tragedies that happen to people where this has happened to. But you know how you've always learned a direct route to get somewhere. You know, most murder victims in the United States or the world over always took shortcuts in most instances. Yeah, that's a fact. They always went against their better judgment. Instead of sticking to where they knew they would be safe, they just wanted to go off and be adventurous. And that's where shit happens, because that's where your enemy lies, in the shortcuts. Hate to use that as a gruesome, very macabre analogy, but it's real. It's real. They took shortcuts. As a great elder, rest in peace, who has told me growing up, this is the reason why I stick to main roads and I don't try to take shortcuts, because you're not going to get there faster. You're not. One of the elders in my family told me, shortcuts draw blood. So if you don't know something, don't speed to it. Take your time, develop some clarity. Develop trust in a mentor that you may develop a rapport with, and take it from there. Because you have to realize the people who are out here with the most subscribers have the least amount of time. That's a fundamental fact. If you didn't pay that no attention, I don't know how you would. Have the least amount of time. Their attention is always devoted to a larger base, or always a new entity all the time. That's why a lot of y'all haven't been getting shit done. Because the power lies in you to do it. All you just have to do is get the right advice. You just learned a very significant truth in less than 17 minutes. It's one of those things I say in the proverbial sense of it all. You have to do it. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. When I started this channel, and I pride myself in that, nobody pushed me to do this. Nobody. I just started witnessing a different way and knowing that, wow. So being faced with opposition, this does work. Because it's not that it was accepted, it's because I was faced with the opposition. See, when you do everything that the commercial structure says to say, everything goes fine for you. We're going to put that word in quotation marks. Right? But you're responsible for your life. First time viewing this channel, like and subscribe. You don't like what I have to say? Take off. Peace, light, love. Agents, fuck you. Until next upload, y'all take care.